there's a lot of different ways that we become confused, where we lose track of what's important in life. And there are things that we have epiphanies over that just kind of fade away into the distance. Have you ever had resolve at one point in time and you said, my life is going to change and I am going to act differently for this particular thing. I'm not going to do this anymore, or I'm going to start doing this. And then it just kind of fizzles away. You forget about it, and you forget that you ever had this emotional and visceral change. This happens to us all the time, where we forget the goals that we set for ourselves. In order to make a lasting change, what's happening here is that you have a brief moment where not only do you have the emotional charge to want to change, but you also have the desire, you also have the clarity, and you also have the resolve in order to make that change. So I get passionate about this because what it looks like before you have that desire, the clarity, the resolve, okay, it might look like you're just waiting for something to happen. You're just living life on autopilot. You've heard that before. You might think, oh, I'm not living life on autopilot. I'm working hard. I'm doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing. But living your life on autopilot may look like doing things for other people and waiting for your own turn to get started. It may look like you are waiting for your own life to begin, waiting for you to start working on the things that you actually want to work on. Whether that be you're at a job that you don't really care for, or you're working for your parents, or you're staying at home listening to people who you don't really want to listen to all that much. The reason why Tangled is such a popular movie is because it resonates with a large chunk of the population. Rapunzel is stuck inside this tower. Knowingly or not, she is stuck in a place waiting for her own life to start. Think about the ways in which you are the Rapunzel in your life. In what ways are you trying to just allow other people to give you the signal to start your life? In what ways are you just waiting for life or other people to give you the answers on what you should be doing in order to start living life your way? So that's what I want to talk about in this talk today. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to talk about what I call the gate of the fool. And the gate of the fool comes right after the gate of the infant. So the infant is somebody who, and we're all born this way, right? Because as literal infants, we do rely on our parents or our caregivers or whoever's taking care of us. And because we rely on them, we kind of have to listen to what they tell us to do, what they say, or else it's just counterintuitive for our own survival. And so for childhood, we often have to listen to what other people say. But as you grow into adulthood, there is supposed to be some sort of transition into becoming your own person who makes your own decisions, who has their own goals in life. But a lot of times, parents will not guide you through that process. And so you'll have to figure that out on your own. And so what does that look like? For the healthy adult, unlocking the gate of the fool, becoming your own person, having your own adventure, living your own life, thinking your own thoughts, making your own mistakes, that is the normal state of being. But for a lot of us get left behind in that process. And so when you're an adult and you're still stuck in that gate of the infant where you are under your parents' authority, you haven't broken out to do your own thing, you haven't broken out to stand your own ground and live your own life, then there is a journey that needs to be made consciously now, because you're an adult, a conscious decision to go from I am waiting for my life to start, I am waiting for other people's approval and authority, to making the decision that, hey, I am going to start living life my way, screw the rest. And so that's really what's happening here. There needs to be a conscious journey. And if your life is not going the way that you want, if your life, it seems like there's no options, like personally for me, when I was stuck in the gate of the infant, I was severely, severely depressed. The way that I was able to break out of that and start living my own life was I realized, hey, depression is not a sign that something is wrong with me per se. It's not a sign that I'm sick. It's not something that is going to stay with me forever. Depression, the way that I was able to break out of it was the belief and the desire and having that mental clarity to understand that depression is a sign that something in your life needs to change. Because whatever's happening in your life right now, it is causing your body to shut down. It is causing your body to disconnect from emotion, from mental clarity. It's causing you to dissociate from life because the life you're living right now is so unbearable. Okay, so depression is a signal. Once I understood that, or once I chose to believe that depression is just a signal, that is when I could decide I can move my life in a certain direction. Okay, so that's the other part. Not only do you have to choose to believe that depression is just a signal, it's not permanent, it's not an illness, it's not something that says something directly about you, it's just a signal that life needs to change. But the other thing is that you need to also believe that you have the power to enact such a change. My depression stemmed from the fact that I wasn't living a life that I wanted to live. I wasn't making the decisions that I wanted to make. I was making decisions that my parents wanted to make, that my family wanted me to make. And so in order to fix that, for me, the thing that needed to change in my life was simply that I needed to start making my own decisions. And for some people, it's going to be easier. Some people, it's going to be harder. So for some people, I know they're stuck in a situation where the thing that they want to change in their life is that they want to get out of the guardianship of their parents, but they're still 15, 16. They need to wait until like about 18 before they leave the parents' house. So it's another 2 years. It's a lot of waiting. And I do understand that is a difficult situation, and that is prime for depression. But it does get better. And I urge people in that situation to learn as much as you can about how the world works before you turn 18. And then as soon as you're able to take that action to make a change in your life, again, depression means something in your life needs to change. So as soon as you have the power to change the thing in your life that's making you depressed, I would encourage you to do so. Don't wait until 23. Don't wait until 28. Do it at 18 if you can. That is what I wanted to talk about today. Other than depression just being a signal, the other thing is the desire and the belief that you can and will actually enact a change that will make a difference. And so when you have that desire and when you have that belief, that's when you can start making the journey from being essentially what is an adult infant and going from there to going to the gate of the fool. And the reason why I call it the gate of the fool is because you're going to have to be willing to be a fool, potentially. It's not that you're foolish, as we understand it in modern English. The real thing about the fool is that fools are willing to go into potential danger without truly understanding what the potential dangers are yet. Okay, and this is required of basically everybody. You have to start acting before you understand what is inside. Just like when Christopher Columbus sailed over to the Americas, he didn't know what all the Americas was like. He just knew that there was a land over there, and so I'm going to go over there and the rest I'm going to figure out. Same with in Tolkien stories. Bilbo Baggins didn't really know what kind of adventure he was going to go on. He just knew that there was adventure out there, and then he left the Shire to go on that adventure. That is the archetype of the fool. Being willing to venture out into potential danger before truly understanding everything that's out there. Because it's basically impossible to understand in one human lifetime all the potential dangers that are going to be out there. At some point, you're just going to have to make the decision to go out and make the mistakes that you need to make in order to gain an understanding of what's out there. So think about, what ways are you waiting to enact your own life? In what ways are you just waiting for your own life to begin? Whether that be in your business, whether that be in your relationships, whether that be in your career, or just how you live your daily life. In what ways are you putting off that decision to take action? In what ways are you putting off the decision and allowing other people to make that decision for you? When you're out with friends, do you ever make the decision on where to go? If you're out with friends and there is a place that you want to go to, do you ever say, hey, I actually want to go to this restaurant and this venue and blah, 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 blah? Or is it someone else who always makes that decision? If the other person is the one making the decision, why can't it be you? Why can't other people join you in that adventure of going to that restaurant you've always wanted to go to? Why can't other people join you rather than you going on other people's adventures that they've invited you on? Like, they've chosen the restaurant, they've chosen the venue, they've chosen the date and the time and the place. Why can't that be you? And so all of that requires you to be willing to be the fool sometimes. Sometimes the adventure is going to take you to places that may make you look like a fool. But at least it was your own decision. At least it was something that you personally wanted to do for yourself. The simple fact that you chose to do it off of your own agency, that makes the entire difference in the world between you having your own power, you living your own life, and being out of a depression, and you being stuck exactly where you are, listening to the thoughts and words and the demands of other people, and being stuck, wondering when your life is going to start. So I'm going to be doing this very often, just impromptu. I don't even know what I'm going to say before I hit record. This has been helpful for you. I do teach what I know. Check the link in the description or my bio page. So do let me know in the comments what resonated with you the most. And also, if you have anything you want to share about your experience, also leave that in the comments below.